Hello, everybody. Welcome back to An Evening at the Movies, everybody's favorite movie based podcast where we eat stale popcorn, drink watered down sodas, talk about all of our favorite movies and why we love them or don't love them in the case of Rubber. But I will get to that later in my introduction. We are here to celebrate the wonderment that is Halloween Horror Fest 2023 and officially put a wraps to it because, well, let's be honest, it's a day before, but this will be airing on Halloween. So Halloween month is over. Boo hoo. I'm sad.
Have happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Have happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
I feel October is like the fastest moving month ever.
It really is.
There's not enough spooky season.
No. You don't have to get spooky if you stay spooky.
Exactly. So, for everybody who could not tell from the sound of the voices in the background, we are obviously joined by one of my co-hosts, Miss Shana Banana herself. Hello,
Hey!
Shana.
Hello.
Also, I'm going to do this a little bit out of order because I have something planned for somebody else. But we're joined by one of our guests on the show, Mr. Kevin Stoner himself. Welcome back, Kevin.
Hello. Glad to be back.
Kevin is also the reason why we discuss and hate Rubber on the show.
Love. That's a really weird way to pronounce love.
Those creepy animatronic guys in your background are starting to give me the willies.
Right?
That's how I look when I'm waiting for my pizza rolls to be done in the microwave.
I could just see Shannon literally staring through the glass in the microwave. Come on, pizza rolls.
I
Hurry
dare you to
up.
break.
His eyes, I
Rolls.
can totally see it.
And also,
That cat.
we are joined as well by, I have to go with my surprise because I did a special introduction for one of my people, and then I'm going to let her introduce our last guest. Fucking Wi-Fi. We are joined by my opposite is opposite. The female version of my Joey and Chandler. We are joined by Miss Amanda herself. Welcome back, co-host.
Hello. That is so not the opposite of taking someone's underwear. Hey,
Yeah.
opposite.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not stealing your underwear anytime soon, so
Yeah. I actually had that happen to me once when I lived in some apartments.
not by me.
No, I left my clothes I went to go get my clothes out of the dryer and all of my underwear was missing.
That sucks.
Yeah, everything else was still in there, but all the underwear was gone. I felt
some
so
creep
violated.
some creep snuck in. Ugh.
Kevin!
I don't know.
Oh. Okay.
All right. So, would you like to introduce our last guest who we
Why
have on the
not?
show today?
We're joined by my lovely daughter, the second biggest FNAF fan in the world, Abby.
Second.
Well, I don't know, Cal. I'll see between you and Kevin. I figured Kevin was number one.
My daughter's definitely number 3.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to rank any one of the three of those on which one's a bigger Freddy's fan than. Yeah, no. No. So, yeah, like I said, we're here to wrap up this year's Halloween Horror Fest. It has been fun. It has been real. It has been real fun. So, we definitely have had some fun talking about Sweeney Todd, Monster Squad, our paranormal bonus episodes that we had. We talked about Hellraiser that the girls were too wishy-washy to come and join Chancey and I for, but
I was not wishy-washy. I made the expectations clear for me on that one. I would not be there.
Samesies. I could have lied and said I had diarrhea, but I didn't. I just told you I didn't want to do it.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, probably, yeah, it is what it is. But I literally did not play the intro for the show when I went into the. Wow.
I was gonna say something, and I was like, "Nah, I'll just let it go."
We'll let him do his thing.
I may randomly just throw it in there just for shits and giggles, but I don't know. I'll
Did you
decide
make
later.
sure to fix this on Facebook so people can comment?
Son of a... Keep talking amongst yourselves while I fix this on Facebook. Uh-huh.
Well, are you gonna do this thing now, or are you saving it for the end?
I'm saving it for the end for obvious reasons that you and I have already discussed.
Okay.
Not the
Speaking of which, you got a link I can share?
That's what I'm fixing right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Casey, what would you do without me? It's like amateur hour over here.
I'm really excited. I have a giant family-sized box of goldfish I'm going to devour.
I want some goldfish.
Well, go get them real quick.
Okay, I will.
We got time because evidently I fucking fucked it up.
Hey, look, I'm a foxy lady.
Oh, foxy
So-
lady.
Kevin, I
Crack myself up.
sent the link to that group chat, Kevin.
Okay.
And public, and we are good to go.
Oh, there's the comments.
Oh, there's the... Oh, hey, you know what, by the way?
You are now entering the world of a movie review. A world full of drama, joy, ridicule, movie spoilers, unpopular opinions, and adult humor for as far as the eye can see. Welcome to an evening at the movies.
Dun, dun, dun.
You know what I just noticed?
I
What?
totally did that out of order.
Well, not just that, but I was staring at the logo, and the little popcorn pieces look like Dixon balls.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Jesus.
I think that's just your dirty mind.
It probably is, but now that's all you're going to see.
That's probably correct. I'm going to get my sticker out and look.
And like
Smooth
it's
transition.
Like, it's like
No,
when you look,
no, I'm literally looking at the damn logo on my freaking arm as
Casey's
we
got
speak.
Dixon balls on his arm. Franken beans, Franken beans.
Oh, Jesus God Almighty.
Franks and beans.
it's like when you look
Wow.
at the Amazon logo and you see a penis.
Oh, that's definitely... He meant that to be phallic, and you cannot convince me otherwise.
Yeah. But the popcorn looks like pee-pees.
Wow.
Okay, so while we wait for Abby to come back,
She's here.
That was a long wait.
pal,
Hi, Jamie.
Jamie says, love my Halloween season. Matches my dark soul.
What kind of goldfish you guys got?
Regular.
Originals.
We have we as if I'm sharing. I have the favorite blasted extra cheddar.
Yum.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ashley says, howdy, y'all.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Chancey says, test.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Pickle.
Is this on?
This is a test of your national broadcasting system.
This is only a test.
Ashley is correct. Casey is batting 1,000 right now.
Woo!
Brandy says, chop, chop. Ha, ha, ha. Of course, everybody loves Casey, so.
I'm sorry, I had something in my throat.
There's a goldfish
Uh-huh.
trying to swim back out.
Ashley says, smooth transition. Yes, it was. Thank you very much. Shane says, hey, Casey. Hey, Mr. Reed. Welcome to my show, or our show.
I'm about to say.
Ashley, Shana agreed.
Okay, well, now
whatever
I
she's
have to
agreeing
look
to.
at it if everybody's saying this. Here, hold Foxy. Continue.
Glad I'm not the only one that thinks that. Thinks what?
She's talking about the logo.
It's his dick in a pot. Oh my god.
It's my dick in a box.
It's a dick in a popcorn bucket.
Alright. So I'm caught up on reading comments right now, so we're gonna move
Yeah, let's do our thing.
transition into the whole. So in case you
Oh
couldn't
my
tell,
god.
what?
Tell me
It
I'm
really
wrong.
does.
Look like what?
Look at the popcorn pieces. What do they look like?
Oh.
I'm a life ruiner.
You're an ass, Shanna. because I have that literally tattooed on my arm.
It's like one of those Rorschach tests, and now you'll never see it any other way.
Would you like to see my penis tattoos? Chang.
Just be glad that it isn't dicks in the Taylor Swift popcorn bucket.
I don't want to talk about that, Ashley. I didn't get a popcorn bucket. Fucking AMC and fucking people buying them that didn't even go to the movie just to sell them on eBay for $100. Fuck you guys. Okay, I'm done.
Wow.
My local theater didn't have Five Nights at Freddy's pizza like some did. That was sad.
Oh, some places did that. That's cool.
Yeah, they had like official like boxes and stuff.
What?
That's a
It might have
cute
just been
idea.
one theater that did. It might have just been one theater that did it. I don't know, but I saw a picture on the internet and I was so jealous.
First of all y'all can bite me with your movie theater bullshit.
Sorry.
And evidently Ashley didn't get one either. So.
All right.
So
We can all agree that we're jealous of Amanda for being next to an Alamo Draft House.
Yes.
Right.
Although Alamo didn't have as much Swifty merch as as much good stuff as I thought. They did have a little cup that was like a mirror ball. And I almost bought it, but they didn't have popcorn. She has a song called Mirror Ball. It looked like a disco ball. But yeah, they didn't have as much stuff, but still, Alamo's the tits, and it'll always be my favorite theater. Okay, sorry, Kasey, continue.
So no, you're fine. So in case you couldn't tell from the pre-intro and the damn comments I have to keep interrupting myself for. Yes, Brandy knows my pain because obviously she lives literally right down the street from me.
Yeah.
And Kasey, have you seen?
Of course he has. That's just a given.
Ashley, what are you smoking, and can I have some?
Ashley, Shana and I are slowly turning him into a Swiftie. It's a slow process, but
I doubt that.
Like you're not getting
You
there.
are.
You like
They are
the
helping.
music we
They are helping. They're helping me build a healthy respect for the Taylor Swift.
What did you
Whether or
think
not
about
they've
the show? Did it turn
fully turned me into a Swiftie.
I mean, I wouldn't
That's
say
yet to
it
be
turned me into a complete Swiftie, but I do like her music.
So
My
there you
local theater is playing the Eras tour, and I am tempted to go see it, even though I'm not a Swiftie.
Dude, someone said that they were watching the FNAF movie, and whenever it went quiet, they could hear the Eras tour.
Nice.
go.
They had that happen with the Exorcist movie too.
Yeah.
So
Exorcist.
evidently, Ashley wants to be included in the "Help You Convert Me."
Yeah, we have to make you a second playlist, but you still haven't given us opinions on the first one. But Ashley can help with the second playlist, and we will continue your journey into Swifdom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So now, God.
You don't have to.
Okay. So I've got all the. For those of you who do not know and couldn't tell from the pre-intro video shenanigans, we're here to discuss the wonderment that is the recently released Five Nights at Freddy's. So, with all of that said, I will say this. The rest of the show is going to be ripe with spoilers.
Yes.
So if you have not watched Five Nights at Freddy's yet, I highly recommend you put down the An Evening at the Movies episode. Go watch. I don't care if you go to the theater. I don't care if you go find your Peacock and watch it there.
Not
But-
the cock.
Let me see your peacock. Cock. Your peacock.
I forgot about that song.
Oh, dear Lord. So definitely go
Where?
and check out Five Nights at Freddy's before you come back and finish watching or listening to this episode.
Or let us ruin it for you, because it's not like it's deep with intricate plot points. Let us ruin it so you can enjoy our shenanigans and then go watch it after.
However, whatever floats your guys' boat. I just don't want to get hate mail from people saying, well, damn, you spoiled the fucking movie. Well, yeah, it's a movie review
no
podcast.
shit.
What the hell do you think we're going to do?
Plus, you played
Oh.
the intro 5 minutes late, but you still played it, and I already told everybody. Spoilers.
Exactly. So, all right. Before we get going, though, we had a plan for the entire month. We've only done it once, and we did it with the Monster Squad. But we're going to do it for the final episode of Halloween Horror Fest too.
Because
So-
Wolfman had nards.
Yes, because Wolfman has nards. So we're not going to use the handcrafted app that Kevin crafted for us, but we are going to play Stranger Things Mad Libs.
I want it.
Ooh. I want it.
Well, I kind of figured Abby was going to want it because Abby is a huge Stranger Things.
I'm so hurt and offended, Kasey. Why would you do this to me?
Because I'm an ass, and that's what I do.
Hey, I'm all for it.
Stupid youngins always getting their feelings hurt over nothing.
Right?
With their silent walks.
And everything.
George sent me
All
that
right.
TikTok and I just died. I was like, are they fucking kidding me right now? Silent walks where they go for a walk with no headphones. Like it's this thing nobody's ever heard of before.
What?
Oh, Kasey, we can't hear you. Yeah, it was a TikTok of a news story saying Gen Z is doing this thing now. They're calling it a silent walk, and it's where they just go for a walk with no music. And I'm like, why are they always out here trying to act like they invented shit that we did before they were born?
The Walkman existed, man.
Well, I remember going for walks with no music. Even I mean,
Do you know what my
Oh
daughter
no,
did
the
to me
sounds of
earlier?
nature.
My daughter, bless her heart, I thought about putting her up for adoption. The other day she asked me, she's like, Mom, have you ever seen this movie? I think it came out around the time that you were born, or, like in your time. And I was like, why would you think that? She's like, because it said it was now in color, which means it was originally done in black and white.
wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have put her up for adoption. I might have maybe just. I might have thrown the whole
Wow.
thing.
Aren't you from the era of silent movies, Mom?
Well, we were born in the 1900s.
Like, how long did it take you to do your homework if you had to chisel it in the rocks?
How many abacuses did you own?
You had to read hieroglyphics just to do history homework.
There weren't
All
any
right.
history
Sorry.
books because
Sorry.
they didn't exist yet.
All right, so we're going to get to our sip libs so that we can get to the rest of the episode. So, with all of that said, we're going to start in my upper right-hand corner and go clockwise around the screen. So, Kevin, you get a verb.
Scoop. That's something that goes over everybody's head but Abby.
What's scoop? Oh.
Oh
Probably.
boy.
No, that's not what he means, I don't think.
Oh, it's
I
the
like
scooper.
you. I know what you mean.
Okay.
All right, Shana, adjective.
Hello?
Clockwise.
You already know what the adjective's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me. No, that'll be fuckable.
Buy me dinner
We're
first.
not-
at 1,000 today. Give Shana the
Okay.
next one.
Shana gets an exclamation.
Holy shit balls.
Yes.
Holy
Holy
shit
shitballs, Batman.
balls. And Abby gets a number.
69.
I knew it.
Nice.
Oh, Jesus God. Plural noun for you, co-host.
Dildos.
Dildos. And number for me, 666.
Oh.
And Kevin, part of the body.
I wonder. The pelvis.
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 Pelvic thrust.
Yeah.
Shana, animal, plural.
Shanimals.
Yes, animals.
Animals.
I really want my own stuffed animal.
Let's see. Verb for Abby.
It's an action word.
I know what it is. I'm trying to think of it. Came.
Wow.
Came?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, I don't know what they teach them here in Texas, but it ain't regular education.
Well, what I don't go to.
Hey, adverbs are confusing. We all know what a verb is.
Alright, so we go there, and adverb for you, OG.
Oh, quickly. So that it can say they came quickly.
Okay.
Should I just summon an adverb?
Let's see. Type of building, $2 whore house.
House.
Plural noun, Kevin.
Animatronics. Let's get on theme.
Nice.
Animatronics.
Hey, now Bonnie's teaching me. I don't like it.
And type of food for Shana.
Undercooked oatmeal.
That's not pizza.
Oatmeal.
But you.
Under.
Noun for Abby. Do you want to explain a noun to her too?
No,
Oh my god.
Foxy.
Yeah. Like the most prevalent animatronic in the movie.
Animal plural.
Oh, you know where I'm going with this. Trash pandas.
Trash pandas.
They're so cute.
They're my favorite.
Larry reminds me of a trash panda.
Larry does not look like a trash panda.
But he's got those paws that hold things.
But I think if he was wet, he would look like a sewer rat.
He does.
Poor Larry.
He's snoring.
Verb for me, fucking. Just because I'm lame. And country, Kevin.
Canada.
Sounds like a yeast type.
I know Canada. I know Canada. Canada. No, yeah. Never mind. I don't know what I was saying.
I actually wrote it down on the thing as Canada too, so that's how it will be
Good.
read. Last one, verb ending in S for Shana.
Skeet.
Skeet?
Oh, skeet. Oh, skeet.
So, funny story, when Abby was like 3, George taught her how to say skeet, skeet, skeet. And so she would go around saying it. And I was like, I'm going to get a call from her school.
All right. So, there are no inappropriate children references in this SIP-Libs, I promise.
Thank God.
Good. That one in the past was just terrible.
Yeah. And that was a fluke, and we will not speak of it.
Delete it.
So, with that said, this one is entitled The Upside Down. Do you dare to scoop into the upside down? Are you certifiably fuckable enough to experience Hawkins from the other side?
Yeah.
I hope you said holy shit balls not in 69 years. Because the upside down is a nightmare for even the bravest of dildos. And unless you've got powers like 666, you'd probably end up like Barb down there.
Oh, justice for Barb.
So what exactly is the upside down? Controlled by the pelvis flare and swarming with demogorgons and vicious demo Shanimals.
Yes.
This alternate dimension is the last place you'd ever want to come. The first portal was quickly opened by 11 during an experiment taking place in Hawkins' own national $2 whorehouse.
Woo!
Since then, the number of animatronics to the Upside Down has grown, from rotting oatmeal fields to the abandoned Foxy Mill, where the Mind Flayer built his army of trash pandas. And though our hero Jim Fuckinger sacrificed himself to close the last open gate, there's speculation that Canada has a gate of their very own.
They would.
Who skeets? What will happen next?
I almost said Russia, and now I'm glad I didn't, because that would have been too accurate to the show.
Right? I was going to say Greenland. Do you want to end up where you were, unemployed in Greenland?
Yes.
All right. So
Great.
before we get going into the episode, I want to take a brief second to let everybody know that we are going to be kind of sort of playing around with the format for our discussion a little bit. So when we get to that portion of the show, we're going to go with an open discussion about what we liked, what we didn't like, the best and worst parts of the movie, and then we'll just move right into our ratings and review for the movie as well. So with all of that said, though, just the background information like we always do. Obviously, Five Nights at Freddy's released on October 27th, unofficially the day before. But October 27th, 2023, was directed by Emma Tammy, was released by Universal Pictures, had a $20 million budget, and broke Blumhouse's domestic opening weekend box office record for Halloween 2018.
That surprises me.
With a $78 million opening weekend budget.
So that 78 million did include streaming, right?
Okay. Brandy just said mom
Hi,
duty is calling.
Brandy.
We'll try and catch up later. Yeah, I have absolutely no doubt that she will watch the video and listen as well. So thank you for being here, B.
I'm not sure if streaming would be included with that number.
What the article I read said it was. Not that it matters; it's still astronomical. But yeah. I feel like it included, which I don't know how they gauge that on streaming, because
it was included with subscriptions.
Yeah, so I don't know if they gauge it like, okay, every time it got watched on a certain account, that's a $5 whatever a month. I don't know, but anyway.
I'm confused because if you factor in like the Peacock subscription fees, then that number should have been a hell of a lot higher, because there's a lot more people that have paid money to Peacock. But
yeah,
they've obviously got some kind of way of factoring it in. So I don't know what the form.
I'm just waiting for the Steelbook to come out so I can own it.
Yeah.
All right. And let's see, what else do we have left? Supposedly internationally, in one weekend, it has made also $130 million. So that's probably pretty close, considering if it's 78 just domestically.
Yeah.
That's only another 50 million around the world. So that's probably a pretty accurate number.
I mean, I just like to show you how many fans and how many like gamers, because Halloween 2018 had everybody was waiting for that movie, and it had a really, so for this to beat that, like, just goes to show you who's going out there and watching this stuff. It's awesome.
Kind of makes me feel validated after my years of being ridiculed for being a fan of the franchise.
I mean, Abby's been talking about this movie for 8 years too. Like,
exactly.
Heard about it. She's like, "There's going to be a FNAF movie. There's going to be a FNAF movie."
See, so many people thought it fell into production hell, and I always had faith in it just because of how big the community is. Like, it's going to happen. I knew it was going to happen.
even if it did have somebody jump the boat on it, but or jump the shark on it. But I'm sure we'll get to that at some point. So random guess time. Everybody knows we do it. In case,
Oh,
unless you've looked it up.
I haven't.
Okay. Shanna, Kevin, Abby, you
I
guys
ain't
haven't
look.
looked
I
it
ain't
up?
looked nothing up.
Have you looked up the score on Rotten Tomatoes?
No, but
Okay.
I know what it is.
How do you know what it is? If
Because of TikTok.
Okay, well then you don't
I was gonna
guess because you know.
Well,
Okay.
I don't remember it, but
So-
it's
Okay. Well, if she doesn't remember, she can still have a guess. But we'll start with Kevin. Kevin, would you like to guess what the Rotten Tomato score is?
I can't guess because I don't know the exact numbers, but I know really close to what they are. So I probably shouldn't be the first one to say something
Okay.
because I've
we'll
seen
go
the
with-
posts.
We'll go with Shanna first then.
I'm going 67.
Okay. Amanda.
I'm going 78.
All right. Would the people who like or have a pretty good guesstimate as to what the number is like to go now?
I don't remember exactly, but I think it was as for the audience in the 80s, and as for the critics, which I found out over the years that critics it's a requirement for the field just to have terrible tastes. But
Yeah.
the critics think it's
We're
like
just-
25%.
We're just going off of the Rotten Tomato meter, so
Yeah, we go off the tomato meter, not the audience meter. Abby?
So the wrong meter.
what I was gonna say.
25%?
the official number is 26%.
I have a theory about this actually that I wanted to
Uh,
talk about, but
26% on 137 reviews. So there's 137 people who don't know what the hell they're talking about,
you can.
and we will definitely be getting to that by the end of this episode.
Oh,
So
I'm surprised.
that
I
tells
didn't
you
think-
who's watching it, and I have something to say about that. Whether you want me to say it now or we can talk about it later, but that actually doesn't surprise me.
Well, no, it doesn't and I normally say it because that's kind of like my coined phrase in the network. But I'm going to let you two fight over it as to which one gets to say it. But what do we say in the I Did Not Make These Ranking Podcast Network?
Fuck Rotten Tomatoes. Say it with me, everybody.
Fuck
Fuck Rotten Tomatoes!
Right in the butthole.
Yeah.
Fuck
Without
critics in
Lou.
general. Not fans. You guys are all fans that are doing reviews. You guys aren't the critics.
Okay, so
Right.
here's the deal. I think that people who don't know, and if I didn't have my daughter, I would know nothing about FNAF. So I wouldn't understand the fandom. I wouldn't understand the lore. And I would have gone into this movie expecting it to be like this deep, like way out there horror movie. But that's not what this movie is, and that's not who it was made for. This movie was not made for horror fans. This movie was made for FNAF fans and, in my opinion, as a gateway movie for younger people into horror. So
Yeah.
I definitely went into it expecting more gore,
Same.
and I realized that people who don't know about it probably were like, "Oh, I expected it to be scarier," and it's like, well, that's because you don't. It wasn't made for you.
So I don't remember if it was Thursday night or Friday that Amanda and I kind of sort of had this discussion, but I believe, well, at some point last week when I was watching, the comment came out that, to me, the Monster Squad is a great movie to introduce children to the horror genre.
Yeah,
The next natural progressive step forward would be Five Nights at Freddy's.
yeah.
Then, you're like warmed up and then dump them right into the abyss that is.
Then just dump them right into the hotels, or the room 37 or 237 scene in The Shining.
But also, I feel like if you grew up going to Showbiz, for people who are as old as me
Yeah.
that remember Showbiz, and then
God.
Chuck E. Cheese, I mean, those animatronics scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I could not understand why people were so like, oh, they're so cool. I'm like, those things are scary as fuck. And like the ball pits, I used to have nightmares as a kid that I would drown in one of those. Now I realize it goes up to my ankles. There's no way that could have happened to me, but it's just
And
like,
there's no water.
well, I thought I would suffocate, and
Oh,
we
okay.
know that I have a fear of that. So I didn't mean drown literally.
See, now that you're older, you just have a fear of the bacteria in there.
Yes.
Or the needles.
the dirty needles.
Oh,
and dirty
God, no.
diapers.
Or the turds.
Yes.
Yeah, I was always told as a kid that if we ever went to Chuck E. Cheese, I wasn't allowed to play in the ball pit because of the urban legend that the dirty needles in the bottom of the ball pit, and I'd get stuck with a needle and blah.
That never happened to me, and I played in lots of ball pits and stuff.
I've never heard of that happening to anyone. I never even heard the urban legend.
Amanda's like, I've played with plenty of balls in my life, and I've never.
Shanna definitely cut me off on that because that's exactly where I was going. Amanda is a fine connoisseur of playing in ball pits.
I've never contracted anything.
Plenty is subjective. What's
The
plenty
fact
is
that we're having this conversation and Abby's literally sitting there right by her mother, priceless.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I've been to the Kohlhofer house before. I know that Abby's bedroom is literally like right, almost directly over George and Amanda's bedroom. So there is no secrets in that house.
You ain't got to get creepy with it.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Oh my God!
See?
Abby said one time, she goes, she like, you guys are doing it, weren't you? And I was like, how do you know that? And she's like, well, you're not very good at controlling your sounds. And I was like, that was me controlling my sound.
I'm out, guys. See ya. Too much for my
Alright.
boat.
Quiet. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it really
So-
was.
Last but not least, before we get to Shanna introducing her new way of doing our plot description, if you want to watch Five Nights at Freddy's and you're at this point and you haven't fucking turned it off, whatever, people. You can find it on Peacock, or you can go to your local movie theater if you have one. Unless you live in Aberdeen, then you have to go to Olympia or Ocean Shores. So.
Wah, wah, wah.
All right, Shanna.
Yes.
Would you like to tell us all about the wonderment that is Five Nights at Freddy's?
Absolutely. Okay. So the movie starts out with this guy, and he is taking care of his little sister because like his brother was kidnapped and his mom is dead and his dad's a giant piece of shit. Anyway, so it's like him and his little sister, and he's fighting to keep custody from this nasty vag of an aunt. And so
Yeah.
What are you saying about my girl Iggy?
so then like he gets this job at this like super creepy, like to us it's the equivalent of Showbiz Pizza, after he beats the shit out of some guy, rightfully so, who he thought was kidnapping a kid. I mean, he shouldn't have gotten fired. He was just saving the kid. Anywho, so he gets this job, and then like you come to find out that the babysitter that watches his little sister while he's at Camp Creepy is like in on it with the vag of an aunt, and she's like, ooh, let's mess up the whole place. So they go in, they mess up the whole place, and then she gets like beheaded by one of the animatronics. So he ends up having to bring his sister to like the place with him, and he's like, don't you move, you gotta sleep, don't you get it, don't you leave. So then she's like in her little like teepee hut, and then she hears like voices. So what does she do? She gets up and she goes exploring, which is like the last thing that you want to do. So then she finds all these animatronic friends that are like moving, and they're not supposed to be because like yikes. So then he finds her, and he's like, are these, are these moving? Are they ghosts? And she's like, yep, like it's normal.
Yep. I love that scene.
Yeah. And come to find out, his little brother was kidnapped when he was a kid, and he keeps like trying to like relive the same dream so he can figure out what happened to his little brother. And somehow, I'm not entirely sure because I was really high, but they all like it all fits in together, like these missing kids that are showing up in his dream and these like animatronic characters. And then come to find out, they like put the dead body of the kids in the animatronics because then like the cops won't find them there. And like really there wasn't anything like oozing out of the animatronics. Like how did that happen? Like the smell
It was
alone would
smells.
have to draw some attention.
Maybe
Which
it
definitely
was a
smells.
glass situation,
Yeah.
and then they put him inside.
So then, like, they're sitting there, and he thinks he's like a really nice animatronic, so he lets his little sister play with him, and he's like, So that makes me question his ability as a parent. But anywho, so he finally
He's
makes
a brother,
this
not a
deal-
parent.
Right. He actually makes this like deal with the devil with Aunt Vag, and he like he lets her babysitter, and then like they come to find out that they want to make these kids, like, they want the little sister to join them forever because he made a deal and is like making a deal with the devil. So they're like, we're gonna take the little sister, and he's like, oh no, I gotta go find her. And then they go find her, and like he has to save it, and then ta-da, the yellow bunny comes in, and it's Matthew Lillard, and he's like, I always come back, you know, and it was pretty good.
I always come back. And then Stu
What did she
What did
say?
you say?
scream. She
Oh.
said it's dirty. Never mind.
Yeah, he's like, I always come back, and I'm like, Stu Mocker.
I always had a
Shaggy.
thing for you, kid.
He's Shaggy to me.
Oh.
Like, Mary Stuart Masterson did a great job of playing Aunt Vag.
Yeah,
such
she
a
did.
twat.
She was awful. My girl Iggy. Why did they do that to my girl Iggy?
He's a brother, not a parent, and he was still reeling from the Hunger Games, so give him a break.
I know, he had to have been exhausted.
I mean,
Like,
after
maybe
that, what can you do?
maybe the security job at Satan's Pizza Parlor was all he could handle.
I just heard a really weird noise that made no sense.
Ghosts. It was Freddy.
I'm convinced we have them. Because Pearl likes to...
I've been in your house before.
Pearl likes to, like...
Your house is creepy as fuck.
It is not. It's very homey. It just looks like a vampire castle from the outside. But
it looked like it on the inside.
Whatever.
Well, I did last Halloween. Last Halloween, I really churched it up. Pearl likes to chirp at like lights, like when the sunlight is in a certain spot. But then also she chirps at nothing, and she's like really into it. And I'm like, "Yeah, we have a ghost." Hi, TARDIS.
She's being a
I'm
brat,
not
so
gonna
she's
lie.
got to be hugged.
Yes.
It's not just Pearl that freaking talks to the ghost. I mean, even church
She did it
last
too.
year was so. All right, are we ready for shit? Somebody needs to plug his laptop in, or we're gonna be fucked.
Oh
Let's not have
no!
a Stand By Me situation.
Oh no!
I wasn't gonna go. I wasn't gonna. Ah,
And the land
Oh,
is dark. And the
I
moon-
hear the secrets of the night.
When you're talking in your sleep.
all right. So, first up. All right, first up, I'm gonna let Shana and Amanda go first because I feel like if I open the discussion to Kevin and or Abby to talk about what they liked most about the movie, we'll be here and they'll steal all of our favorite parts from us.
Well, don't
So-
worry. I kind of forgot about the lore.
The lore.
How did you forget about the lore?
Oh, I
You
know
were
some-
telling me about it through the whole movie.
I know some of it. I don't remember it until I remember it.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's see. We'll go reverse order this time. Queenie,
Okay.
would you like to give us one or two aspects of the movie that you really enjoyed?
I really thought that Josh gave it his all in that role. I thought he did a really good job of conveying Mike's pain and kind of what he was going through and just kind of how hard it is to, be a struggling person, both emotionally and financially, and having to take care of a sister. It kind of gave me a Rose Red vibe where it's like you have to take care of somebody whether you want to or not. They're kind of your responsibility. And so it's like, and they're special, gifted, different in some way that we don't consider quote unquote normal. So I thought for it being a horror movie, I thought he brought a lot of depth to it.
Also, not gonna lie, PETA kind of got hot.
Oh yeah, he did. PETA got hot. Yeah. If maybe Katniss dumped him because really they shouldn't have ended up together anyway.
No.
And then I will say it was hard for me to see Vanessa as anything but Beck, but I still enjoyed that. Wait, not
Beck,
Vanessa.
like the person who sings the song.
Elizabeth.
Beck
sorry.
is a band.
No, Beck from You. But
I haven't seen You.
The animatronics. I thought the animatronics were great. I thought they did a good
Yes.
job. So those are my two.
Oh, did you know they have them at Universal?
Oh,
That makes you want to go so bad.
I thought I had never
Already?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I wanted to go.
I thought they just had the Stranger Things thing. I wish we would have gone to Halloween Horror Nights this year, but that's okay.
You went last year, wasn't that enough?
No, it's never enough.
Don't worry, just go next year. It'll be a Five Nights at Freddy's themed one.
Yeah, hopefully.
Probably. I mean, look at what, like we said, the box office numbers are already, and it's only been out for, 4 days?
Yeah.
Shit, I'd be freaking if I was a movie studio and or director / producer. If I had $130 million box office for the whole run of my movie, I'd be happier than a fart in a windstorm. Let alone.
Well, hopefully that means
$130
they're
million
already working on part 2.
Yeah. Supposedly it's already in pre-production, but that's just rumors.
So I think we kind of sort of discussed it before you two got here, but while doing my research, I did see that Mr. Shaggy Stu himself has said that he has signed on for not 1 but 3 Five Nights at Freddy movies.
Yeah, you told us that, didn't you?
Told what?
Are you paying attention?
I'm
You were
looking
paying
for a
attention?
scene pack for the FNAF movie.
That Matthew Lillard just signed
Yeah.
on for 3 movies.
Yeah, I knew that. So I hope they do at least the first 3 games. I hope they do the 4th game, but I don't know if that would happen or not.
Oh, I would love that.
So
I
evidently-
really just want the Pizzaplex. I want to see the Pizzaplex.
Yes.
What's a Pizzaplex?
What's a Pizzaplex? What?
Is that like Cece's
evidently they're-
buffet pizza?
So, Kevin, I want to make a purchase, but I don't know which game I should get. So, should I guess Sister Location, Help Wanted, or Security Breach?
Oh, Help Wanted all the way. Help Wanted is one of the most fun games. Help Wanted is one of the best VR games ever made. It's so well made. It's so beautiful. It's got such cool games in it. Plus, it's like all the original games in one game, so it's so much packed into one.
Nice.
Well, thank you. Now I know what I'm going to spend my paycheck on.
And then you'll be ready for Help Wanted 2 when it comes out
yeah.
next month. Or, yeah, I think next month or 2 months, whatever.
I may have to start playing these games.
You can watch
You
me
might
play.
poop yourself playing Help Wanted.
I can't play those games. Like, it makes my anxiety go too high.
Just imagine it in VR.
No, thank you. Like, my fart would fall on the floor.
Is it Shanna's turn
All
to
right,
talk about her favorite things?
Yeah, Shana. What
Yes, sir.
about the movie did you grab? What about the movie grabbed your attention in a positive way?
Well, like Kevin and Abby, my daughter is like a super fan. She loves everything Freddy related. So I have been hearing and avoiding Five Nights at Freddy talk for years. Yeah. So when she told me that this movie was finally coming out, I was like, great. I'm going to watch this movie. I'm not going to understand a damn thing about it. But I think they did a really, really great job at, I don't want to say dumbing it down, but making it very intro level for people that aren't familiar with the, the whole story and all of the lore and everything. It was really a great starting point to kind of bring people into the fandom. Like me, I'm like, oh, I kind of want to read the 3 books now. I kind of want to, find out more information. So they did a really, really great job at like bridging the gap between the super fans and the new fans. I really, really liked that. And I was able to understand the movie without having to ask a lot of questions.
Agreed.
So that was definitely a high point. I think the actors were great. The little sister was so cute. I just wanted to hug her. Like, when she was like, he's like, can you wait in the car? And she's like, nope.
You really rooted for her, even though sometimes she was kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a kid. What do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I
And
know
her whole
all about
life kind of
asshole
fell.
kids.
So
What?
Jen!
And then like what I didn't understand is when she's sitting at the table like eating and he's like, so I had a brother. We had a brother. I'm like, how has this never come up? Like you're
Well,
just
the
now
vibe I got was that it has come up. It's just very rare.
Yeah. Like
That was the vibe I got out of the situation.
I also had a sibling that passed away before I was born, and I knew about it from a very young age. You know, I mean, it allowed me to take advantage of the situation, but my sister actually passed away 6 weeks before I was born from SIDS.
Oh
So
my god.
yeah, so like I was treated like a princess.
Oh, of course you were.
Yeah, I was doted on. I got to beat the shit out of my brother constantly, and like whenever I beat the shit out of him, my parents would be like, "What'd you do, Eric?" Like,
I've heard the Light Bright story.
yeah, I broke his head open once on a door jam, and I ran down the hill screaming, "Eric's bleeding!" Am I grounded? I mean,
So before we go too deep into this conversation, I do have a message that I need to convey from Jen herself. Kevin.
Jen!
Okay, as you were. Okay. So
I mean, nobody really needs me to relive my past crimes. I mean, I don't know what the statute of limitations is like on those, so
Put a pin in that.
okay, so we might want to give it another 5 or 6 years before we go back down this rabbit hole. So
What is
I
the
will
statute
second
of
the fact that I have no idea what the statute of limitation is in freaking Iowa because that's freaking like
I mean,
Over
these
the
crimes
corn.
happened all over the world.
Oh, that's right. You lived in Germany.
Yeah, I lived in Michigan, Germany, Maryland. I mean, I was an intercontinental risk.
Yeah, I wonder if we should do that.
yeah. And of course it's Germany because that's like the one international country that we're big in right now. So for those of you listening in Germany, you did not hear a word that Shana said.
Do not export me.
We are not extraditing Kendra.
Oh, that's the word.
Shana.
I couldn't think of the word, so I said export.
I knew what you meant.
God, I'm dumb. I'm fucking dumb.
You're not an item to be or imported.
So not that I'm stealing or copycatting from the girls, but I definitely appreciate pretty much the same things that they appreciated about this movie because I feel like I've had this discussion before in my own head about when is a good time to introduce a younger child to the horror genre because I love horror. We all know I love horror. Amanda loves horror. We all on the show love horror, but like my sister-in-law would crucify me right now if she knew that I ever thought about introducing Nico to anything horror related because she doesn't like the horror. But I will sneak it in there eventually. But, huh?
That's what she said.
Just throw on the Terrifier movies. You'll be good.
Oh my god, no.
Oh, yeah.
I've never even seen them. I've only heard of them.
They're pretty gross.
I've heard enough.
Disgusting.
I've heard enough bad that I have no desire. But with that said, somebody will request them, and now I'll have to watch them for an evening at the movie. So
Hard pass. Not doing it.
I'd test the waters, but I don't think I'd like it.
yeah. So definitely, like I said earlier, Monster Squad is probably a good elementary school introduction into the edginess that is horror
Minus the
movies.
slurs.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, it's not a freaking here, sit and watch, and I'm going to go do whatever. I mean, sit down and be there for the, okay, don't refer to this type of person as this or what.
Yeah.
Because it's not very,
Monster Squad went hard.
it's
with
very
that,
cringy
too.
when it comes to.
It did not age
A
well.
lot of movies went hard with that shit. Yeah, it did not age well. Just like a lot of stuff in the 80s didn't age well. So, and then I feel like the next natural, like I said, the next natural progression in the line would be Five Nights at Freddy's, sometime in the junior high years. So, um, so at this point, us noobs have discussed our favorite portions of the show, and I'm going to turn the microphones over to the lifers. And Kevin, Abby, as you were.
Hi.
Abby, go on. I'll go last.
Go on about what?
The movie
What?
Sandlot.
What?
The movie?
She has not seen The Sandlot, I don't think.
I mean, I think the movie was
Bad
pretty good.
parenting on your part.
I would have liked if they added more gore, because the guy that made FNAF, Scott Cawthon, he basically talked out of his ass saying that he was gonna like put a bunch of gore, like, oh, there's this scene that we might not even put in the movie because it's so gory. I just think but I mean, overall, it was a pretty good movie. Like, it gives you the idea of what happened, but it doesn't show what happens. Like, I think the most scariest scene is like the ending. Like, in my opinion.
What couple of things did you really like about it?
I really liked that Matthew Lillard was in it, and that he did like the knife thing, like that he doesn't scream. I was like, oh my god, what? That's such a reference, like Easter egg moment. Like, let's see. I liked how they're kind of following the storyline, like in the books, I guess. Like,
Yes.
and I don't know. I think this will be successful. I think this will be successful. I mean, I hope that maybe like during like the next few movies, like they gradually go into more horror. But like, if that doesn't happen, that's fine. But I mean, I think that this franchise will be good. I mean, overall, I think it was pretty good. I mean, they could have done better, in my opinion, with the lore. But at the same time, I just feel like it's more fun for people that don't know the lore, because they don't know what's going on. So they're like, oh my god, what is that? Why is this happening? Like my mom, like she seemed to enjoy it because she had no idea what she was. Like, she had no idea what was going on. But as someone who knows what's going on, I was just like, well, I mean, I like it. I'll give it a good
So you think it wasn't as enjoyable for somebody who knows all the lore?
Yeah, I mean, instead of like showing what happens, it gives you an idea of what happens. Like the scene with like, I think the most scariest scene is like the ending. I won't say what it is because of spoilers.
Well, we're gonna get there.
Okay,
anyway.
well then the spring lock failure scene. That's the most scariest part, because like it actually kind of shows a bit of gore. But other than that, I don't know. I mean, I like it though. I mean, I think this could be my new comfort movie if I'm
nice.
honest.
I really thought it was cool.
I think they were testing the waters, is what I
Yeah.
with not being too much of the lore, but being enough to lure people in.
Yeah.
I think with 98% of the reviews of the negative reviews of the movie just pretty much saying there wasn't enough gore, I think they might up it a bit in the next one, especially with like the movies aging with the audience and stuff.
I thought it was really neat, like when it was creepy to me when they dragged him off. I was like, oh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
That's such a good scene for the fans.
Because you know what they're going to do. They're going to get him.
What were you saying, Abby?
Oh, Kevin, I was at Kroger yesterday or the day before, and I found a Fazbear Frights graphic novel. I don't know which one it was, but I got one. So I'm collecting the graphic novel, so I'm really excited.
Nice. I got like the first two, and I'm such a bad reader that I don't think I've even like I think I made it like 5 pages into the first one.
So, I'm not gonna lie. I figured that going into this that it was gonna linearly follow the books. So I went and got the original trilogy. I got the trilogy in graphic novels, and I believe the first 4 of the Freddy Fazbear set.
Fazbear Frights.
Like 12 books long.
Yeah, Fazbear Frights.
Whatever it is.
That's only the first one. Then there was the Tales of the Pizzaplex, which is a whole nother like 9 books.
I need to know more about this Pizzaplex.
It's in security breach.
Sounds yummy.
It's a really awesome building. Like one of the biggest things about the games over the years is the character designs and the settings. Like Scott Cawthon, like his his designs for his characters have always been out of the park. My favorite has always been like Sister Location, because like when you see those animatronics, they're like faces like open up in cool, unique ways. Like each part of the face has like 4 segments, and it just looks so cool.
I love that they have all these different versions of the animatronics. Like that's just kind of what I've learned from Abby, from the games, and then from the all the crap that she has. It's obviously a cash grab. It's like, how many different versions of these same thing can we make to get people? But I still think it's pretty cool.
Oh God, don't even get me started on Five Nights at Freddy's, the AR game. That's literally just a game made to make an infinite amount of variations of the characters. There's like swamp versions of the characters. There's blacklight versions of the characters. There's a lot of cool ones and a lot of just weird ones that are like, what?
I like Golden Freddy.
Yeah.
My favorite's always been a character that's very likely going to be in the next movie.
I'm still waiting on a Taylor Swift Freddy.
It's probably in the AR version.
Taylor's version.
It's probably already there.
All right. So moving along, Kev, was there anything you would like to discuss as far as likes go?
Everything. I mean, not like, it ain't a perfect movie. Nothing's a perfect movie, but they did such a good job of making a movie for the fans. There were so many Easter eggs littered all throughout, like the cameos. I wish I knew Corey X. Jensen or whatever his name is, because the entire theater freaked out when he was on screen, even though he was in the trailers, because apparently he's a big YouTuber and I feel ashamed of myself for not watching him. But when his face got reviewed, I screamed. He's my favorite YouTuber on all of YouTube. Matthew Patrick. He has the best channels, like Game Theory, Food Theory, Film Theory, Style Theory. They're all phenomenal channels, and you will learn so much stuff watching them. And when he appeared on screen, after literally gaslighting the internet for like a year, telling us that he was not in the movie, I wasn't the only one who made a like little eep.
Yeah, Abby was like, ah.
And apparently Markiplier, we all knew he was supposed to be in the movie, but he had a conflict with Iron Lung, a movie he's making. He was supposed to be, I found out through MatPat, that he was originally scheduled on as that night guard that opened the movie.
Oh,
that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
I knew who Markiplier was because Abby's been talking about him forever. MatPat, I don't think I ever heard her talk about, but.
Oh, MatPat he's my favorite. I love MatPat. And that's just a theory. That's actually not a theory. That's a fact. But the Jim Henson Creature Shop killed it with those animatronics. They literally... Yeah, that's Jim Henson Creature Shop.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they saw the first game, and they literally... They pulled it out of the game. They pulled those animatronics out of the game and brought them into reality in such a one-to-one aspect that it is, for the fans, just to see that alone is the ultimate fan service.
I love how cheesy they were. Like,
I know,
how it
like,
took you back to, like, Amanda and I, it took us back to Showbiz.
Yep.
With that fucking gorilla that looked like just had felt stapled on him.
Like, they look so silly, like that fort scene. That fort scene was so great. I loved it. They're so cute. It's so great how they can look so cute. And then, like, I feel like it's more on the comedy horror side. That might have not been what they were exactly going for, but I love me a comedy horror. So, like, all around, so good.
And the leg biting cupcake was great.
Yes.
Cupcake's adorable.
Right?
Matthew Lillard. I've always loved Matthew Lillard, like, ever since, like, Scooby-Doo. Like, I loved Scream too, and everything, of course. Scream. But I said Scream 2, not Scream 2.
Scream, 2.
2 with 2 O's. But I fell in love with him when he was Shaggy. Like that, just Shaggy. He killed that role, and the fact that he's still Shaggy, he just like became that role. Other than that stupid Scoob movie that I protested because Will Forte is not Shaggy, Matthew Lillard is Shaggy.
Will Forte is Batman. Lego Batman.
No.
But I haven't seen Matthew Lillard physically act in so many years. When I looked at his stuff, it's mostly just Shaggy roles. It was so satisfying to see him acting again and just to see him kill it. Like, he personified that role so well. So many little Easter eggs, like that there was animatronic called Sparky, who was one of the original like fake theories of the franchise. In the first game, you got rare screen grabs. All of the games pretty much have rare screen grabs where you can have you can go to a camera and there will just be something going on that just doesn't happen all the time, and it's super rare. So somebody made an edit and they put a little dog in the corner, a little dog animatronic called Sparky, and it just blew up, and it was fake. It was an edit. And Scott is like, I'm going to put it in the movie. And there was literally a Sparky animatronic. There was that dog animatronic that one of the characters got shoved into. I think Max got put into the Sparky animatronic. And the restaurant that they were in was called Sparky's.
Oh, nice. See, I think it would be fun to watch it. Like, it was definitely fun to watch it not knowing anything because you could still enjoy it. But I think knowing all this stuff, like, okay, like for us, like let's say for me and Kasey and maybe even Shana, watching Halloween 2018, knowing all the movies so well, it was the same thing where you could watch it and they told you enough of the backstory that you didn't necessarily have to see the first one or any of the others. But for the rest of us who have seen all the movies, we caught all the Easter eggs. You know, the shots of, oh, that's from this movie, and oh, that's from that movie, and oh, look, it's the Silver Shamrock masks. Like, I love when movies do that, when it's like, no matter who you are, you can still enjoy it without feeling like you're missing anything.
Like the picture on the wall with her and Anne.
And I just gotta say, I was planning on pulling it up so that I could pull it up as a visual reference, but the Matthew Lillard twitching in that suit when they're pulling him away, if you saw the teaser for that game where the animatronic Springtrap is, well, Spring Bonnie at that point because he's not Springtrap until he's dead, but when you see the animation of him twitching, the character twitching in the teaser, Matthew captured it perfectly when they were dragging him away. Like, I can't understand how he somehow got the twitch exactly perfect. Like, it might just be like, oh, it's just twitching, but no, he personified that image insanely.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think he's been underrated for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I mean, I felt not necessarily in love, but Stu was an amazing part of Scream.
Liver alone.
You don't want to have Stu. You don't want to have Stu's butt babies?
No.
I think the very first movie I ever saw him in was Hackers, and I loved it.
Yeah, that's George's favorite.
Hackers is a great movie. I enjoyed watching him in Summer Catch, which is a baseball movie.
Yeah.
Not everybody's gonna love baseball, but I love the movie at the same time. Fucking Scooby-Doo, obviously a Shaggy.
Yeah.
You know, he is a great actor, in my opinion. And just bringing him, it was one of those moments where, spoiler alert, that, you know, you get the initial meeting of his character in the beginning of the movie, and it's like, that's probably my one biggest negative, is the fact that I felt like once I first saw him at the beginning of the movie, I knew what the plot twist at the end of the movie was going to be. So,
I didn't know exactly, but I knew he was involved.
I wasn't 100% sure, but I was in that 90 to 95, 97%.
I mean, when you got Matthew Lillard on screen, you know he's going to be an important character, not just a career counselor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope this gets him some more serious roles. I mean, not that this was a serious role, but it was at least a little darker than the comedy shtick he's normally in. Because I'd like to see him do some serious.
I'd like to see him just physically acting more. Apparently, he's going to be in the the Life of Chuck movie. Apparently, he's in the cast of that, which I'm excited for. I want to see him acting, physically acting more.
Apparently, he's coming back to Scream too, as well, for Scream 7.
I did watch a movie with him in it the other night called The Curve, and it's about these people that are under the impression that if your roommate commits suicide, you get automatic A's. It's not Dead Man on Campus. This was like a serious version.
It sounds like Dead Man on Campus.
I know it does, but this one's like not comedy.
Okay.
It's really good. It's got him in it. It's got the guy from Never Been Kissed. It's got Kerry Russell. It's got the boyfriend from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The guy from oh crap, what's that movie with Molly Ringwald where they're in high school and she gets pregnant? For Keeps.
Yeah, that one.
That guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Kasey.
All right. No, you're fine.
I think I'm done. I could probably go on longer, but I've already gone on long enough.
All right. So before we get to our reviews and ratings, was there anything about the movie that any of you guys absolutely did not like at all?
I wouldn't say there was anything I didn't like. I would say, like I said before, I was a little disappointed that there weren't more jump scares. I don't really care about gore. The whole jump scare thing is a thing that Abby has been instilling in me since she started playing these games, reading these books, whatever, about jump scares. And I was like,
I can feel that.
Don't feel like there was enough jump scares.
That is one of the gripes, even among fans too. Like, sure, there was like 20 Balloon Boy jump scares, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah. So that's really the only thing is and again, like I said, I know it wasn't made for horror fans, but I did expect it to be maybe just a little bit scarier, or at least a feel like, oh, and I don't feel like I really got that. But other than that,
I mean that Monch scene like got me just because like it was in the trailer. Everything leading up to that was in the trailer, and then all of a sudden they show the shadow and just Monch and Max is halved. It's like, oh my god.
So yeah, I mean that would be like my only complaint, but also I get why they might not have gone too hard that way, because like what we talked about, it's made for the fans and younger people to kind of, so I get it, but I would have liked to have been a little more scared. Other than that, thought it was good.
Shana, was there anything that you didn't like about the movie?
I would like to have had a little more closure as far as what happened to his little brother. I know that Jody mentioned that, it'll be coming later.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming too, the way Kevin's acting. Find out later.
Closure in a Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, like so you knew what happened. You knew that the daughter knew about the kidnapping and everything, and they did all that, but like they didn't go into anything of what happened to him after that. We know what happened to the other kids. They were shoved in animatronics.
Yeah. So
cool.
What did happen to him?
So there's a good likelihood that I don't know what Garrett might be. I can't think of that. Golden Freddy. Garrett might be Golden Freddy. He might be Balloon Boy. He might very well be the a character that got hinted at several times in the movie that's going to be in the next movie, which is the puppet, which is actually my favorite character because according to like parallels. What?
He's the puppet.
What about the puppet?
That Garrett is the puppet.
Yeah. Because like the way that the movie's going so far is the Aftons are the Aftons, and it seems it's not confirmed because there's no confirmations. And literally the whole premise of Five Nights at Freddy's is you're going to have several different tangents and so many like options for theories. You rarely get a solid answer in this franchise, and it's intentionally designed that way so that people can build theories. But
talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus God, this movie's gonna freaking drive me up the fucking wall.
But it seems like the way that the movie is going so far is the Aftons are obviously the Aftons, but Mike's family might actually be more connected to them than the movie is letting on in the first movie, because there's a good chance that his entire family might be a parallel to the Emily family that's in the game franchise. I wish Abby was here. The Emily family that's in the game franchise. In other words, and it's actually lined up. Mike's dad might actually be the co-owner of the original Five Nights at Freddy's. He might have actually been a partner with William Afton back in the day. It's just Mike didn't know because he was too young and everything to remember all that. And
okay, let's put a pin in that until Abby comes back because I want to hear that too from her. Is that okay?
Sure.
I also wanted, because Aunt Vag was such a cunt, I wanted to see what happened to her.
Oh my god.
I can't get over that name.
I would like to have seen her death scene, like just for some catharsis.
Oh my god, the lawyer was probably my favorite character. That like that lost guppy look on his face was just amazing. I don't want to be here.
And then they were like, well, maybe we could take him out. And he's like, I really can't be here.
He's like, I can't hear this. Kasey, was there anything you didn't really like?
I kind of was expecting, like you, maybe a little bit more gore. We kind of sort of discussed it while I was finishing my watch on Friday. That the jump scare numbers were kind of probably a little bit low for my taste, but I mean, at the end of the day, it wasn't like it was horribly bad. Like there was enough there to keep me involved and keep me, watching. But I wanted just a smidge bit more. But at the same time, like we said, this is for the fans.
What is that silly cat up to?
She's making noise.
It wasn't necessarily meant for people coming in from the outside, like, us old heads, me, Amanda, and Shana.
I'm just a baby.
Okay, so
right,
Kevin's talking about
pull the pin.
The Aftons and the Emilys?
Okay, so what does Abby have to think about the Aftons obviously being the Aftons because the movie tells us that, but Mike's family being parallels to the Emily family. I can't think of how to expand upon it farther right now, but I lost my train of thought. But with
dad.
The dad originally being Mike's dad originally being the co-founder with William Afton, and then just splitting up because of the drama that happened back in the day when Mike was young, so he doesn't remember any of that. And that's the reason why William would drive all the way from, we don't exactly know the setting, but a hint shows that it might be actually in Minnesota is the setting of the movie, maybe. But to drive all the way from whatever the setting is to Nebraska to go kidnap some random kid in a forest.
Right, and know that they're going to be there, and yeah.
Because that's such a major plot hole, but the movie was, like, if the movie was intentionally hiding that from us, that would also explain the likelihood of Garrett being the puppet in the next movie because of Charlie being the puppet.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I was surprised, like, a lot of people, like, because I've been seeing on TikTok, a lot of people were like, why is Mike not Michael Afton?
Because he might be more of a parallel to the Emily family. It might just be because Scott's been doing this for years, just throwing random names in there just to mess with us because we know so many things are important and whatnot. So he'll be like, there's another Mike in the franchise. Who knows if it's the Mike you guys know?
See, and I didn't see that kidnapping thing as a plot hole because us being our age know that in the 80s kids were snatched all the time. Like,
see, that's not why it's a plot hole. The plot hole is why he would drive across states to go kidnap some random kid.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Most kidnappings
it's also completely against his MO because all of his murders happened in that establishment.
Yeah.
In that establishment, and all of a sudden he's kidnapping and killing some random kid.
I wonder about that, actually.
I have a strong feeling, along with other like theorists on YouTubers, because I'm always sitting there watching the theories, that it's a parallel, that the Schmidts are a parallel to the Emilys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Now I'm definitely going to read some books.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was actually, I told Kasey beforehand, he's like reading the books, and I'm like, the movie's probably going to follow the game storyline more than the books. And then the movie comes out, and wow, that ending with the drawing, like where she draws the new picture and puts it over the original picture, that's straight out of the book. That's how they defeated William Afton in the books. Because he manipulated the kids and made them think like, hey, you need to help me because I'm a good guy, and then draws a new picture, and boom, they know.
Nice.
Here, I've got candy. Come inside my windowless van.
Oh, and that intro, the intro credits was such a serotonin drip for the fans of the franchise, because that's how we got all the lore. In all the games, the gameplay itself is creepy and cool, but when you actually got the lore of the games was when you died and you popped into a little 8-bit mini game and you got the lore.
Nice.
All right.
And the song at the end of the movie, the song and the credits, that is the first song that came out for the game and is one of the most iconic songs in the franchise. Everyone knows it.
It's awesome.
All right. So, in interest of time,
Yes.
I think we need to, because we're almost an hour and a half into this, and I feel like there's so much more that we can get into with this, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to the fact that I think we should all reconvene and further scratch the surface on more of this, because there's like obviously so much more. But
yeah, we could expand upon the book and game lore a bit more too in a future one.
Yeah, well, and we can discuss books, we can discuss lore, video games, movies. I mean, so much. But let's get to our ratings.
Ooh, my friend left a comment.
That's a good point too.
Hold on. Afton also recognized Mike's last name when he looked at his file, then offered him the job as security guard. Oh!
Yeah, that's a good point.
I love the way Matthew acted that scene. It was so good. And Mike,
Yeah.
he looks at the paper, and then he looks, and then he gets a little closer. So, do you want some coffee?
I feel like that didn't get made clear enough to people who don't know the lore, because I will say that caught me from the very beginning. I was like, why isn't he saying his last name? Why isn't he saying his last name? What is it about this guy? I don't feel I ever got closure on that, because I don't know.
Well, you hear him say the name at the end of the movie, like, Mike Schmidt, I murdered your brother, and now I'm going to murder you. Symmetry. Ruh-roh.
Symmetry.
All right,
I always come back. So for you guys who aren't a part of the franchise, that is Michael Afton's line. He always comes back. He's a never-ending part of the franchise. Like, even after he dies, he comes back as Springtrap. And then after Springtrap gets destroyed, he comes back as Glitchtrap, because he puts his puts his memory into like a virus in a computer system, so he can continue living, because William always comes back.
Kind of like my relationship with Little Debbie.
On that note,
Debbie.
So we got ratings coming up. So we've kind of sort of started off every other direction but Shana. So Shana, you get to go first. What would you rate this movie out of 5?
I am gonna go 4.75 biting cupcakes. I thought this was super fun. I really had a great time watching it. It wasn't one that, you had to think super hard. You could just sit back, chill, relax, and watch. And
as Abby said, comfort movie.
Yeah, and let the story unfold for you. You didn't have to put a ton of pieces together. I mean, it was simple enough that you kind of figured out that Matthew Lillard is the bad guy at the end. And you didn't have to sit there and try and figure it out. But it was a great fun ride watching it as it unfolded. It was fun.
And she gets up and leaves right as I'm getting
Yeah, let her go after.
So, all right. So, Mama, you can go first.
Okay.
And
Well, I guess if I'm going to do it that way, because I usually go in half steps, but I'll go with 4.8. Fazbear pizzas. I think that it, like you said, it was a lot of fun. It wasn't overly gory. Like I said, I wish it had been a little scarier. But other than that, I thought the story was good. The acting was good. I just really enjoyed it, and I definitely want to watch it again.
That little girl was phenomenal.
Yes.
And the little blonde boy, his expressions were so sinister. He really did a good job too.
Creepy, right?
Yeah.
that kid was giving me definite Gage Creed vibes.
Yeah, he killed it.
Like
Malachi.
Village of the Damned little blonde kid kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, that too.
If he kids bracket or a draft, I definitely could throw him in there.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a sipisode too. Yeah.
Oh yes, it should be.
And Kevin,
As a fan of the franchise, it's an absolute 10 out of 10. Like they made that movie for us. Like so much fan service and such a well-produced movie, and you can tell why Scott ripped up several scripts in the process of trying to make this movie, because he needed it to be perfect, and you can tell this is the one where he's like, yes. As a movie, if I just watch it as a movie, not as a fan of the franchise, I'd see it more as like maybe a 4.5, just because of, like, as you guys said, it's there's some plot lines that might be confusing to people who aren't part of the franchise. Like, I've heard some people point out that when William says, "I always come back," it comes out of nowhere, and it's like a line that doesn't make sense. But when you, like I said, when you're part of the franchise, you know that that's his iconic line, and him putting that head on when he's doing it is because he knows that if he dies in that suit, his soul will take over that animatronic. So it's him saying that as being like, yeah, you think you killed me, I'll always come back.
And what's great about the movie too is, like, for Amanda and I, when we watch it, like, yeah, we don't know the lore, but we can find someone who does if we have questions. And they love the movie so much that you can ask them, and it's not like they're making fun of you for not. The people that are really, really big FNAF fans aren't like those people that think you're uncool if you aren't. They are so eager to share the world with you.
We are happy to share everything with you.
Exactly. It's not this elitist mentality. It's like, yeah, come sit, have a drink. Let's talk.
I think it's funny. There's a video on the YouTube that came out recently that's a brief analysis to the introduction of Five Nights at Freddy's, and it's like 8 hours long.
yes, Kevin sent me that video, and I was like, I'm not sitting here for 8 hours watching that
Yeah.
I want to watch that whole thing. I'll do it. I just haven't started it yet.
So, all right. So, Abby,
Yeah.
now that you're back, would you like to give us your rating of the movie out of 5?
Out of 5, like 5 being the best.
Yes.
Okay. I give it about a 3.5.
Wow.
Ooh,
4.
harsh.
We were all generous.
I'm offended.
I think could have done better, but I think with, like, since they're doing at least 3 movies, I think it'll get better, like, gradually. So, I mean, I think they did good. I think that they could have done better, but other than that, I mean, they did what they could. I mean, I'm just glad that we got the movie at least.
Yeah. After 8 years.
Yeah. After all my friends being like, "Where's the FNAF movie?" And then it finally comes out, and then I'm not friends with them anymore, but still.
Yeah, it's because they were the non-believers that thought it was in production hell.
Just send them an email or a text that says, "I was right, bitches," and then block their numbers.
Suck on that.
So, I'm going to be a little bit different, and we're all going to get our own little original number, and I'm just going to go 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 yellow fucking bunny suits, because 1, that bunny suit was freaking huge, and 2, creepy as hell.
It was
But
buff.
It was buff. Yeah, him fucking just kicking and all the stuff he was doing is just like, damn, William. Damn, my boy Shaggy got some muscle.
He's like, I'm going to design my own suit. It's going to make me look huge.
Oh, my rating was out of Balloon Boys.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to say it because I was too busy talking.
So I think 4 is I think we all have good, solid arguments for our numbers, and I think we're right at the beginning of something that hopefully is going to turn into something really great, and hopefully not just even a 3-movie little stint. It can turn into a whole lot of epic franchiseness. So,
Ooh, if they don't do any more movies, maybe Netflix will pick it up as a series.
Ooh.
Oh. I
Might not be good.
they could, as long as Scott is fully involved as he was with this movie, it could be good. That's all I got to say. If he's not as involved as it was with this movie, it's just not going to be good. It needs to be made by the creator because he has his heart, he has his finger on the pulse of the community. He has since the beginning. A game comes out, he reads the fan views, and he makes the next game based off of like what the fans said. He's always been part of the community. He's always had his pulse in the, like, he's not making them just to make games. He's making them for us.
He needs to team up with Ryan Murphy.
Yeah. Ooh. Could you imagine if Ryan Murphy and him teamed up to do FNAF? Oh, that might be too fucked up though. That would not be for the young viewers.
Or a James Wan movie.
American Story meets FNAF.
FNAF Murder House.
Oh, Jesus God.
Murder Pizzeria.
Yes. Murder Pizzaplex.
Oh,
So
I just want to see that Pizzaplex, man.
before we get to the wrap up, I did forget something else that we have to do, because we have the official results from our first ever Chaos Bracket.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not gonna. I forgot what the damn matchups were because it's been that long. But I'm pulling it up as we speak. So, first up, we have the third place game: Pretty Woman versus Walk the Line, with 51% of the votes.
That's a hard vote.
Walk the Line is your third best movie.
Yay for one of my picks.
I walk the line.
And
I fell into a burning ring of fire.
First of all, if your ring of fire is burning, then
you might need to go to the doctor.
That.
you need to go to a doctor.
That's what that song's about. I know it's just an urban legend, but the song's about an STD.
Leave my chili bowl alone.
God.
And last but not least, we have the championship final, which is the Sandra Bullock movie that Amanda's going to go on a tirade about because it's not a Sandra Bullock movie because she's a secondary character. Love you, co-host. Mean it. A Time to Kill versus the winner of the Drew Barrymore portion of the bracket, which was E.T. the Extraterrestrial. And in a carbon copy margin of victory, with 51% of the votes, E.T. is your winner of the first ever Chaos Bracket.
Very nice.
Nicely done.
I mean, A Time to Kill is
All
a great.
right.
It's not a Sandra Bullock centered movie. That's my argument. There's so many other movies of hers that could have been there instead, but you know, it's Sandy and she deserved to be there, and so did Drew. So I'm not mad about it.
At the end of the day, all four of these
there.
movies are great. Yeah.
Well,
but there were other movies by Sandra B that I would rather have been in the final.
That's what I'm saying. That's cool. Yay, Drew. Yay, E.T.
So, Before we get into the conclusion, also one last thing before we get into the conclusion. Um, I don't know how everybody feels about it, but I know that at least two of us right now got probably the most horrific news in the world on Saturday evening. Um, Somebody who both of us feel like, even though we've never met the person, but it felt like he's been a best friend to us for the last 30 plus years, almost 30 years, was found dead at his Los Angeles home on Saturday night. So we would like to definitely send out a heartfelt condolences to his friends and family as well. Um, because Matthew Perry is a huge part of mine and Amanda's friendship, even to the extent that we went through a 4 or 5 episode long binge Saturday night, and we shared our emotions back and forth all night long. But for those of you who don't know, Matthew Perry did he's Chandler being on Friends. He the whole 9 yards, Fools Rush In, a whole wealth of other stuff. He's an amazing, talented actor, incredibly funny. Hollywood is definitely lost a great one on Saturday night. So, Amanda, is there anything else you would like to say before?
Oh, yeah, just I'm devastated, and I know that people are, oh, it's just, I mean, George has even been like that. Like, I remember when Luke Perry died and when Prince died. I was really, really affected by both of those. He's like, you don't know these people. I'm like, I know, but they're such an integral part of my childhood, of my early adulthood, of my comfort zone. Like, Friends is my comfort show. Chandler has always been my favorite character. Like, you know, I don't know. I mean, it really sucks. And to see somebody die that young, he's not that much older than us. And I think that's what got me about Luke Perry was that, first of all,
No.
I adored him, but also it was like, he's our age. Like, it really makes you think about your own mortality. So, yeah, I'm very, very sad. I cried. Watching Friends is not going to be the same, but I still will watch it. And if I could personally thank Matthew Perry for all the memories, I would, because he is Chandler, and even in other stuff made my life better. So thank you.
He's also a major advocate for
So,
sobriety. He
Yes.
was
He
starting
did
up his
so
own
much
like
for so many people.
rehab center and everything.
He worked with the drug
I
courts.
do not.
He did all this. He created
Yeah.
the Perry House. Like, just, yeah.
I heard somewhere too
And
that Lisa
I don't.
Kudrow was going to adopt his dog Alfred.
Yeah, we
I
kind of
actually
saw
had read that
too,
article as well. And well, I've seen enough interviews where they like he's talked about it. Matt LeBlanc has talked about it. David Schwimmer, Jennifer Aniston, all of them talked about it. That the bond that those six people have, it's like they could go 6 months, a year without seeing each other, but it's bump into each other at a party. But at the end of the day, when they bump into each other, that's it. It doesn't matter who you're with. Those six friends are going to spend the rest of that night together, socializing, just being the amazing friends that they are. So that is definitely a group of friends that I have always dreamed about wanting to be a part of, just because of the
Yeah.
fact that they're that great of friends. And it's
He was
been
the youngest one.
yeah, I all six of them when they go, it's going to devastate me. But
Yeah.
none of them are going to devastate me the way that losing Matthew on Saturday night devastated me. So
I agree.
And
definitely,
all of us who didn't connect with the series as much as you guys did, we all offer our condolences to those of like you guys who like it is your life. Like it's
Yeah.
you guys connected with it, and you're not the only ones. That show connected with so many people.
Yeah.
at the end of the day, for a lot of us, we found the show in the mid part of the 90s, and it was a weekly thing. Like, I can't speak for other people, but once I discovered the show and started watching the show, it's like I did nothing on Thursday nights when new episodes were releasing on NBC.
Must see
It's like
TV is where it was at.
it was must see TV, and there was a lot more to must see TV. Obviously, Seinfeld and some of the other shows were part of that, but to me, Friends really connected with me in a way that very few shows ever have. So this is probably, I will put this probably at a more devastating loss, even more so than um, the loss of said River Phoenix, um, Brandon Lee, even, and everybody knows how much I love The Crow, but Matthew Perry was a lot more devastating to me than even losing Brandon Lee. So
Yeah, the instant I saw that, I thought of you guys. It's just like, oh no.
yeah,
I had to break the news to Kasey, so
yeah, she did too, and I'm glad that it was her that broke the news, because if I had seen that pop up on my phone on my own, I don't know how I would have reacted.
me too. My cousin texted me.
So-
He saw it first, so that helped me too. Like,
So literally getting the whole message from Amanda, I need you to be okay right now, and it's like, okay, what the hell's I'm thinking in my head the whole time,
I'm
what
like,
the hell's
prepare
going
yourself.
on? She's like, prepare yourself, and then all of a sudden, bam, Matthew Perry, 54, found dead at. It's like, no, and there was a lot more emotion than that involved in it.
Yeah.
So, well, let's close it out and then do our little.
So yeah, really quick before we do our individual goodbyes, but Amanda put together something that we would like to share with everybody. So with all of that said,
so no one told you life was gonna be this way. Your time's a joke, you broke, your love life's the whole way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. But when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year, well, I'll be there for you. When the rain starts to pour, I'll be there for you. Like I've been there before, I'll be there for you. 'Cause you're there for me too.
I'm not crying. I'm not crying. You're crying.
Okay.
Shana, you want to go ahead and say your goodbyes?
I was just going to add that I really, really hope that whatever comes out as far as the autopsy and, toxicology reports, that people don't make it about his struggles. I want people to make it about him as a man and what he has done for the community, for our generation. Friends was a show that made you feel like you had friends when you didn't.
Mhm.
So it was the show for the lost souls. So I definitely want people to appreciate and love him for who he was, not the demons that he struggled with. If for some reason they played a part in his, his tragic death, let him rest in peace and carry his legacy of joy and laughter and not the bullshit. So with that being said, I am one of the co-hosts of Crime Rewind. We are taking a Halloween hiatus right now, so we will be back first week of November. And so with that being said, we are also on a break. We were on a break.
Oh my God, if you say that one more time, I'm going to break up with you.
So we will be back in November and ready to solve some crime.
Kevin, you want to say your goodbyes?
I'm Kevin Stoner. I don't own any podcasts, but I'm on several of them, many of them being part of the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network. But I'm also on TikTok at KevinST1R, the YouTubes at KevinST1R2 for some dumbass reason.
Is that the number 2 or TOO?
The number 2. This isn't a Scream situation.
Okay.
And also, you can find some of the beat boops I make at Stoner Music EC on SoundCloud.
You can also check out some of his great digital artwork for on the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network's cover page.
Oh yeah, and Extra Celestial Productions on Facebook is all my arts and stuff.
Nice.
The one below me, Miss Queenie herself.
She did what? I said below me. Also from Friends. Oh, I just
Figured.
had a notification. Friends passed statement. So they all got together to give a statement. Which, yeah, leave them alone. And, like, leave his family alone. Like, what I would like to see come from this, and I saw a TikTok from Bob Saget's.
I saw that too.
I understand that TMZ, that photographers, all these people, they monitor the police scanners. They know what's going on. But the fact that they were there when his family showed up, that some of his friends and family probably found out from TMZ and not from somebody else. Like,
yeah,
I completely understand that I'm so attached to this person as an actor, as a character, but this parasocial relationship we have with celebrities has to have some kind of limit. Because,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the fact that maybe all the other friends found out about this from TMZ and not from somebody in their inner circle, or even his extended family, is just like disgusting. And like Bob Saget's wife was saying the same thing, and it's just like
that she found out literally 5 minutes before TMZ broke it. That's not even enough time to take a breath.
Right. And if you see the videos, they're there when, you know, his mom and his stepdad, which it's Keith Morrison, everybody knows Keith Morrison. So I think that was part of the ploy too. Let's see how Keith Morrison from Dateline is reacting. But like, we got to let these people grieve in peace and die in peace and like be laid to rest in peace. So anyway.
Well, like literally the video was showing them trying to pull through the mob of paparazzi, and they're putting cameras in his mother's fucking face.
Like,
it's like, Jesus Christ. It could not have been more than 45 minutes since she'd found out. Give her a damn chance to breathe.
Yeah.
So, dumb question. Why did they have to go there? Like, I know when my mom passed, the police tried to get me to go to her. Like, they're like, can you come here? And I'm like, no, I'm not coming there. So I don't understand the necessity for them. I mean, the assistant could have identified him.
Well, I mean, the assistant found him, so I'm sure.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I guess it just depends on the situation. If my mom was found dead in her home and I was close enough, I'd probably want to go there.
Yeah, I wanted no part.
I get what you're saying too. See, I don't know why they had to go there, but either way, just leave them alone. Like,
yeah,
and them showing aerial footage of his home, like they're showing the hot tub where he was found dead. Like, we don't need to look at that. Yes, he's not in it, but still, you're already planting that image in our head of looking at this hot tub going, oh my God, this person I care about just died there. Like, stop showing us that.
Yeah, there's a reason I skipped over the TMZ article when I was trying to figure out what happened, because I've never really liked that company and the way that they do things.
But unfortunately, they usually always have it right.
Well, so yeah, they're just too abrasive and aggressive with it.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, sorry, I have to pee. I'm Amanda.
Unfortunately, in that line of work, you have to be aggressive and abrasive with your shit.
You got to get the money shot.
You're going to get beat.
Ugh. If it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah, Amanda's got a pee.
So thanks. I'm Amanda. Check out the SIP list, all the other stuff. And yes, this was a fun episode, and I am going to bounce before I pee my pants, but love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
So, really quick, because I know, well, the other two bounced already, but So Amanda's going to be taking a brief hiatus from An Evening at the Movies. So Shannon and I will be holding on and holding vigil for the show as well. Chansey will be stepping in and helping cover stuff. We've got Chansey coming up in the next week or two with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4. Jamie from Bracket Bastards and Shana and I will be sitting down to discuss A League of Their Own. We've got a wealth of stuff coming up over the next 2 months. So definitely stay tuned on social media and stay updated there. Thank you, Kevin, for being here. Thank you, Abby and Shanna and Amanda and everybody for listening.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to come on and talk about a franchise that I've been a fan of for forever.
And we might just happen to throw you a bone and do the freaking Angry Cat Christmas special.
Oh my God, that's always been said as a joke. If it happens, Grumpy Cat's worst Christmas ever. It's a yearly tradition.
Yeah. We may do it depending upon what comes up in December, but at the end of the day, eventually we'll get around to Grumpy Cat. So
I think it'd be a fun another episode that'd be like Rubber, where it'd just be another episode or another movie you just hate.
Probably. So with all that said, since Amanda's not here, thank you guys for being here, and as always, we hope you guys come back for An Evening at the Movies. Have a good week, guys.